Okay, so now this is EIN, the sequel. The sequel has this in it. A picture, I mentioned a picture in a picture, which is like the bright light in this story, for me too. EIN, yeah, for Zan or EIN. And then I mentioned a dynamic occurrence happens about the picture within a picture, which I'll explain. Everything gets fucked, not just me, everything. Highest extents, everything. And further on in the pictures, the highest extents are in a picture. They're in a picture within a picture. The greatest extents are. And then, of course, everything here is in that too. The thing is, there are just like frames or scenes that everything gets fucked. Everything. And then it levels out, like Jesus talks about. And then the picture within a picture is in a picture within a picture. It's like the Seinfeld episode where Kramer is talking about racehorses. His mutter was a mutter. If you ever catch Seinfeld, you can catch that. It's very funny. It's a picture like that, though. It's a picture that's complicated like that. And then it gets so complicated, then that gets shuffled up. A picture within a picture within a picture within a picture gets shuffled up. And then a picture over a picture and a picture multiplied by a picture and a picture. These are the kind of basic things we understand. The comedy is, it gets so shuffled up that it turns to real chaos, not chaos that we know. Real chaos, like some real shit. And the highest extents are still powerful. I know you think they're sinister and cruel, but they're just taking care of their own means. That's why they're existers anyway. The problem is the highest extents really believe that the whole thing's a glorious accident. See, Jay Gould might not have believed in a highest extent at all, but Jay Gould was a very powerful paleontologist and scientist. He actually understands the whole thing really could be a glorious accident. The universe, everything. Because then there's the universe, doesn't know what the hell he's doing around anywhere. Everyone tries to utilize him. He's more ancient than anything. He's more ancient than anything that's ever existed. Yet he's pissed off. He's pissed off. He's probably had elegant civilizations that are totally happy, that just kind of like keeled out happily. And he's pissed. He's pissed at the story of everything. The universe is more ancient than anything. God, more ancient than God, more ancient than anything that he harbors. The only problem is, it's been a bad story of many things. It looks like the universe never can go anywhere, and he's in a unified picture of a time and space and time that goes to eventually, that can probably go to static space, which is very minimal, and then get recreated again, back to the universe again. Takes time, but it happens. He thinks everything is like a cartoon, really, the universe. He thinks everything is like some cartoon. He thinks he's a cartoon, too. He thinks he's a cartoon, he's a character, everything's like a character. But the problem of the universe, of what he knows about the characters, is they never resurface again, according to his knowledge. They never exist ever again, once they're extinct. So then you have to think about the comedies, how funny that is. It looks like you can go out of existence peacefully, or you can go out tragically. Or if you can't really control it, but it looks like there's always better ways to exist. The problem is, every existence is like a moment. Like every frame of power is like a moment. But what I think, really, if you always exist, if you're beyond space, which is interesting, then you can always exist, perhaps. But the problem is, you have to actually understand problems that are so complicated. It looks like, I'll get back to a point I was digressing, but back to a point about a picture within a picture. It really is something phenomenal about space and time, and about existence in general, existence as well, that is a light topic now. It's not as heavy and dark. The planets don't want to create problems, really, either. They don't want to create problems with life, or life, the power of life. They kind of just want to live a simple life because they've been around the block, so to speak, especially this planet, the Earth. She's been around the block. She knows a lot's bullshit. She cuts the bullshit. She cuts her losses, and she just exists modestly. That's this planet. The thing is, planets all have stories to tell. The only thing is, we actually have to exist on a very primitive, a very intelligent, a very ancient place. And we might not all be that ancient. We might not all be that ancient. It's very difficult. It seems like cruel and unusual. And it seems very Jurassic. The only thing is, like, people can't exist that easily. But on a good level, the picture within a picture really is more of a light of something that is like a hologram almost too, like holographic. But it also goes to dimension and weight and power, like reality. It's like reality echoes too. And you might be screwed in one reality, in another reality you're totally doing great. That's good news though, flat out, plain and simple. That's good news. See, I was giving you an example of when I was above everything, and I was flying high. I was like flying high. Yeah, a lot of people have that story. They don't go into detail like me, but I'm like, I wrote a book about this. It's called The Exister. But it's an interesting story, don't you think? Because what might be so gloomy now, in another respect or another picture, might not be at all the converse of it. And then you have to crack up at the irony of that. The irony is complicated because the dynamic human is a great discussion to have. The dynamic human can transcend problems. And it's actually a gift of the mind, too. The mind can transcend itself, too. The mind can transcend problems, too. It's good. Transcendence is good, especially if you end up in a better place or in a place where you're happy. The whole thing keeps on getting more interesting as the story unfolds, but I'm telling you, it gets to be like chaos, at least in my opinion. It gets to be smoothed out, too. It gets to be something of a turbulence. But it gets to be a calm, too, a lot of calm moments. The good news that I can say, though, beyond the picture in a picture, there's other things. Pi is interesting. Pi is reflective. If someone takes too much pi, the converse happens. So they get a reaction, like a reaction happens to them. Pi is a dynamic equation beyond dynamics, too. Pi can rectify a problem. That's why Jesus was good at pi. Pi can stop things from occurring, too. Pi, you can't have, like they say, don't be a glutton. Don't eat too much pie. Don't be gluttonous. Because when you eat too much pie, you get fat. I'm not talking about weight. I'm talking about fat in the mind. You get a little lavish, and then you get in trouble. See, moderation comes in a lot in existence, which is very interesting, I must say, about existence.